You remember it.
Hmm.
Not a specific memory, just a feeling. The way a summer afternoon used to look. The way the sky was a blue that does not exist anymore. The way Christmas morning light hit the living room and everything glowed. You were not imagining it. That world was real. You lived in it. And somewhere between then and now, someone turned the saturation down and never told you. Picture yourself at 6 years old. You wake up on a Saturday morning. No alarm, no obligation. Just the feeling of the day opening in front of you like something with no edges. You walk to the window. The grass outside is the greenest thing you have ever seen. Not metaphorically, literally the greenest. The sky behind it is so blue it almost hurts. The neighbor's red car in the driveway is a red so saturated it looks like someone painted it 5 minutes ago. You do not think about any of this. You just see it, and it is extraordinary. Now picture yourself last week. You walked past a window. Maybe you glanced outside. Green grass, blue sky, parked cars. You did not stop. You did not feel anything. You moved on. Same world, same colors. Completely different experience. What happened? The first thing you need to understand is that color does not exist in the world. Color exists in your brain. When light hits your eye, your retina sends electrical signals to your visual cortex. Your brain takes those signals and constructs a color. The color you see is not the color that is there. It is the color your brain decided to make from the information it received. And the brain does not process every visual signal equally. It filters. Your brain receives approximately 11 million bits of visual information every single second. It consciously processes around 40 of them. 40 out of 11 million. The rest gets filtered out, deemed irrelevant, not worth the processing power. And here is where childhood comes in. When you are a child, your brain has not yet decided what is relevant. Everything is new. Everything is unclassified. Every color, every texture, every shaft of light coming through a window is information your brain has never seen before. So it processes all of it. Your visual cortex is running at full capacity. Every color is being fully rendered. Every detail is being logged. This is why a puddle on a pavement could hold your attention for 20 minutes when you were 5. The puddle was genuinely fascinating. Not because puddles are fascinating, because your brain was treating it as new data. And new data gets full processing power. Full color, full saturation, full presence. You were not seeing more, you were paying more. As you age, your brain gets efficient. This is not a flaw. It is one of the most sophisticated things the human brain does. You learn that grass is green, you file it. You stop fully rendering it every time you walk past it. You learn that the sky is blue. Filed, processed, done. No need to fully experience it again. Your brain starts running on shortcuts. Neuroscientists call this perceptual learning. The more familiar something is, the less processing power the brain allocates to it. The grass is green. Your brain knows this, so instead of fully rendering the specific extraordinary shade of green outside your window right now, it just confirms the category. Green. Filed. Moving on. The color you see in adulthood is often not the actual color in front of you. It is the memory of a color, a placeholder, an approximation. Your brain stopped looking because it thought it already knew. But there is something darker than that. When you were a child, you had no past version of today to compare today to. Every experience was the first of its kind. The first time you saw snow. The first time you tasted something cold and sweet. The first time you stayed up past midnight and looked at the sky and felt the specific feeling of the world being awake when it should be asleep. When your brain encounters something new, it releases dopamine. Not just a little, a flood. Dopamine is not just the pleasure chemical. It is the attention chemical. It is what makes your brain say, pay attention to this. Remember this. This matters. Every new experience in childhood was soaked in dopamine, which is why your memories of childhood are so vivid. Not because childhood was better, because your brain was chemically marking every moment as important. As you age, the brain stops releasing dopamine for familiar things. The sky is blue. No dopamine. Grass is green. No dopamine. Another Saturday morning. No dopamine. The world did not get less colorful. Your brain stopped paying the neurological price of admission to see it properly. And there is one more thing. The lens of your eye literally yellows as you age. The crystalline lens, the clear disc that focuses light onto your retina, accumulates a yellow pigment over the course of your life. By your 30s and 40s, the lens has yellowed enough to filter out a measurable amount of blue and violet light. The sky you see at 40 is not the same sky you saw at 6. The blue has been physically reduced. The contrast between colors has softened. The vividness at the short end of the spectrum, the blues, the purples, the bright whites, has been literally filtered out by your own biology. Artists have studied this. Monet, as his cataracts progressed, painted the same water lilies increasingly red and yellow because that is what he could see. The blues had gone. You are experiencing a slower version of the same thing right now and have been since childhood ended. Here is what stays with you. You were not wrong about the world looking brighter then. The colors were more vivid, the saturation was higher, the sky was more blue. Not because the world was different, because you were. Your lens was clear, your dopamine was flowing, your brain was paying full attention to every photon of light that hit your retina. You were experiencing the world at full resolution, and the slow dimming since then is not depression. It is not pessimism. It is not something wrong with you. It is your brain doing exactly what it was designed to do, becoming more efficient, more economical, more certain about what it already knows. The cost of that efficiency is wonder. But here's the thing nobody tells you. The window is not fully closed. Every time you encounter something genuinely new, a place you have never been, a person who shows you something you had never considered, a moment so unexpected your brain has no file for it, the dopamine comes back. The full rendering comes back. The saturation comes back. Not permanently. Not the way it was at 6, but real. This is why travel feels like waking up. Why falling in love makes everything vivid. Why the first day in a new city looks like a film, and the last day looks like Tuesday. Your brain is still capable of seeing the world the way you saw it then. It just needs something it has never seen before. Novelty is the light switch, and the terrible, beautiful truth is that somewhere in the world right now there is a color you have never seen. A view that will stop you completely. A moment your brain has no category for. And when it happens, if you let it, the saturation will come back. Not forever. Just long enough to remember that the world was always this bright. You just stopped looking.